Your fear that it won't work out for you is exactly why it's not working out for you. The deep depths of the human soul, your physical body, and your entire nervous system is all wired to avoid death. And as humans, because we have egos, we don't separate a physical death from an ego death. It feels the same. If you've ever been through a season where you've lost everything, like your Job in the Bible, where God takes everything from him and tests his faith, whether you're Christian or not, you can appreciate that sentiment. If you've ever been through a season like that, as I have, then you know that the death of the things that you've worked for is almost as painful as a physical and real death. And until you've either experienced it and overcome it, or you've overcome it before it's hit you. You've overcome your fear of death. You've overcome your fear of failure. Failure meaning ego death, by the way. That's why people are afraid of failures, because they're afraid of death. It's a whole other video. Okay? But so in this video, I don't know how long this is going to be. I have no script. I'm talking purely from the heart and discussing with you the most important posture shift that when, for example, a one-on-one client of mine that I'm working with to grow their business, when they really, really get it and it really sinks in, I can say unequivocally, almost every single client that's really gotten this point has gone on to have massive multi-7-figure, sometimes even 8-figure success. One of my clients just had a $1.5 million month, and I remember 3 years ago when he first became a client, talking about things like this with him. He was so nervous and erratic in his movements, indecisive, unsure, this or that, hire this guy, fire this guy, what do I do? At the end of the day, he was crippled by fear. Once you're willing to let go of your possessions, you're willing to let go of what you have now, you're not attached to it in the slightest. You're willing to float, not touching the ground, not anchored in what ifs, but literally floating in your own potentiality and the full faith of what it is that you can create if you were so committed to doing so. With zero reservation, zero fear, and zero concern of what ifs. That is when you begin to create pure innovation. That is when your deepest purity comes out and you create things that are actually important, meaningful, valuable, and of service to other human beings. And I'm not talking some woo-woo thing here. This is practical stuff. This is, odds are, what's keeping you right now at 10 to 50 grand a month, or even 100 grand a month, when you would really like to scale a lot further. It's not because you don't know what to do. It's because your body and brain and your mind, they don't know how to allow yourself to do it. And this is the stuff. So what I want you to do is pre-game getting comfortable with losing everything. Get comfortable with losing everything. I want you to really and truly come to terms with the worst case scenario. Because as an entrepreneur, we'd be lying to ourselves if we don't live in a world that is incredibly dangerous, where many people go more than broke. Okay? Not just broke, but more than broke. Like they're recovering for years. That happens to people. And it could happen to you. It could happen to me. I've seen it happen to people. But that circumstance is only as powerful as the narrative, the story that I tell myself about it. If I allow myself to say, because I'm here, I must be this identity that I attach to a circumstance of who I am because of the circumstance, that's when the circumstance then has power over me. But if I root my sense of worth in higher things, this is where my faith is so important, you guys. I cannot understate how important my Christian faith has been to my financial success. And I'm not faithful because of my finances. That's not at all. I'm not trying to do a 1 + 1 = 2 thing there for you. I'm faithful because I'm faithful. And I feel a tug on my heart to say, recently I've been struggling a little more, and maybe I'll make a deeper video about that. But as of recently, just as I'm talking about that with such grandeur, I want to be honest and say recently I have not been in the Word as much, haven't been in prayer as much. I have been a little too in my business, so I'm pulling back actually. But anyway, that's for another video. That's where I root myself, and because of that, highs, lows, ups, downs, changes, pivots, what I have in the bank, what I don't have in the bank, where I could be by now, where I'm not, where I am, none of these things truly affect the sense of self-worth that I've created. One of my mentors told me, and I loved this idea, that your net worth always eventually catches up to your self-worth. Okay? If you vest your self-worth in your net worth, then your net worth controls you. And when you are at the control of something like money, then you're screwed. One bad year takes you out because you can't recover emotionally, mentally. You can't continue to create from a place of purity. And so in order to tap back into the fearless mindset that creates amazing things, you have to experience intense loss or come to terms with the idea of losing everything. We live in a dangerous world, my friends. We live in a world that loves ripping everything you have from you. But what's amazing is if you're not afraid of it, it doesn't come at you. It's attracted to your fear. It's attracted to your thoughts of what if. Okay, it's such a self-fulfilling prophecy. And the way that you create a positive self-fulfilling prophecy loop is by vesting your self-worth in things greater than what it is that you're trying to achieve as a human. Whether this is a business pursuit or a marital pursuit in your relationship or marriage, or it's a health pursuit, whatever it is, doesn't matter. If you see yourself as smaller than the thing you're trying to create, then you will not create the thing sustainably over time. You have to see yourself as bigger than it, not in an arrogant sense, not in an egotistical sense, but in a humble, I understand what it means to be human sense. You have, in between your ears, the most powerful, potent quantum computer practically locked between your temples, right here. It can tap into things that you don't even understand, okay? It can see into the future if you let it. The scripture's filled with people who prophesied over people, prophecies that came true. Isaiah speaks of Jesus long before the church recognized that Jesus would be the Messiah. You've probably seen it in your life. If you think about it for a moment, all the successes that you now have, at one point you saw them in your mind's eye, and now they're here. And if you had a what if narrative, if you had a what if this doesn't work, what's so incredible is that you're always moving in the direction of your strongest feeling and thought. And if you're more afraid of losing everything than you are excited to build something, then you're at risk. And the way you change it, honestly, you might need to go backwards in order to go forwards again. It's okay to stop building out of fear for a while, even if your bank goes way down. I'm telling you, it's worth it. You got to get out of building from fear, and you got to get into building from love and excitement. When you're in fear, it's just you and your money. It's just you and your money. That's it. When you go to sleep at night, when your head hits the pillow, it's you and your money. Do you really want to live that way? That's a terrible way to live. You make less money too. But when you build from love, abundance, excitement, and joy over the work that you get to do, then my friend, you will attract everything that you're after. You will. Give it time. Forget how long it's going to take. If it takes 20 years, fine. If it takes 6 months, fine. Doesn't matter. I don't care how long it takes because I love doing it and I'm excited about it and I wake up excited about it, even with the challenges. In our other company, Kingdom Closer Academy, right now today we're facing some challenges, some inner team stuff as we scale out the business. And I told my head of client success, who's essentially my business partner over there, I said, I really like our problems right now. I really do. I prefer these problems to the problems that we had 3 months ago when I was first launching the funnel. I hate, tweaking a funnel, make the headline say this instead and re-film the VSL video and test this audience versus that audience and test these 15 ads. Ugh, dude, you won't caught me dead. Dude, I can't do that for more than about a month. I mean, I give it a month. I said, if I can't figure it out, I won't run this business. If I can figure it out, then we'll grow the business. It's like, I so prefer the problem of certain team members kind of struggling to the problem of, the old problems where we weren't even making any money. So that's the mindset you have to have, is you have to fall in love with the problems that you're experiencing. Okay, short video. Thanks for watching.